Hi everyone, Stephen Downs here. Stephen follows instructions. I should have a little title music or something. Maybe something off of a free music website. Oh well, I won't distract myself with that right now. For a rub my nose, it's because I burned it on the weekend, so it's still all kind of, feels like lizard skin. Anyhow, yeah. Picking up with Mojolicious basically right where I left off. And so where I left off, where did I leave off? So here's the app that I've been playing with, the exceptions, and here the little test app to see why Perl had to be declared and couldn't just be found, but still don't know the answer to that, and it doesn't really matter. So I was working my way through the instructions on the Mojolicious tutorial, and I believe I had gotten as far as JSON. I always call it Jason, but I guess the pronunciation is JSON. And one of the last things I did was to actually test this, and you might recall to test this, this is sending JSON documents from the command line with Mojolicious. The command line means that I actually have to open a terminal, write in the container, and then type Perl, and then the command line thing. And that's how I get my response. And here you see, there's my response. Hello, Mojo in reverse. So that's where I was. And then the built-in exception in not found pages, which basically told me there are built-in exception in not found pages. And now the new stuff that we can look at is root names. So if you didn't see the first part and you want the basics, you can go to my blog, halfanhour.com. And it's saying it's still not getting smooth streaming. I don't know why. My stream is fine. I mean, I don't have weird parameters that I need to change. Cancel. Yeah, I don't know. Stream settings. Normal latency. Let's open widget. It doesn't tell me a thing. Stream health 1423, 1422 stream health was excellent. 1423 there's an error. 0 concurrent views, so it's not a big deal obviously, but if we come here into OBS, which is what I'm using to send my stream, settings, and stream, YouTube, RTMP, okay, maximum bit rate, don't need to worry about that. So let's check output, streaming 4500 kbps, which is what YouTube recommends. Rate control, CBR, I don't know what that is. But, looks right to me. So I don't know why. Maybe I haven't started the... No, I have started streaming and recording, so I don't know. Is there a way to close this error bar? No. Okay, so here's the error bar anyways. I don't know how to make it better. So, unless you have advice for me. I mean, what's the point of giving me an error bar if you have no advice for me? Okay, I suppose it's nice to know that something's going wrong. So anyhow, whatever, I'll check after, and if it's all broken up, while I'm still recording, I can upload the recording instead. So, whatever. Okay. All roots can have names can have a name associated with them. This allows automatic template detection in back referencing with URL 4 in Mojolicious controller. Okay. On which many methods and helpers like link to in Mojolicious plugin tag helper rely. So telling me where these specific things are, I can sort of see the reason for that, but it's not informing me. But I guess it's not really distracting at the moment either. So okay, let's look at what they've done, because we don't really know. Okay, so get hello. So what this means is render the template hello HTML EP. Okay. All right, so let's put this in here. We'll make this our application. I didn't even turn it off from yesterday, so everything is still running just as it was yesterday. So that means I can come right in and overwrite this. Control S, and now let's go to localhost. Well, I guess I closed the actual application on the desktop, but it doesn't matter. So localhost, host 3000, hello, reload. Yeah. And this page is not in Spanish. And let's close off some of these other windows I'm not using. So I mean, they're useful, but I'm not using them, so I don't need them. All right, hello, reload. Okay, reload. I need to turn that off. Where's the translate? Is this it? Yeah. Manage extension. Okay, let's just turn that off for now. Okay, good. Okay, reload, and now hello. And now you see at the bottom there, the URL is localhost 3000/hello. So let's come back to our code. So we had the usual get this, and then this is just get hello, and that brought up this hello.html.ep. Now let's see if that generalizes. So two @ symbols, and then I'll just call this one goodbye. Oops, goodbye. .html.ep. Goodbye, cruel world. And now I'll just create an alternative one, get goodbye. So that should run another template. That should run goodbye, and it should say goodbye cruel world. Let's save that, and let's try that. So I'll replace in the URL here, I'll replace hello with goodbye. Be very surprised if this doesn't work. And it does work. Goodbye cruel world, it says. Perfect. All right, so I don't need this. Okay, so what we know is if I just say get and then the name of a template, it'll get the template. Where the name of the template is the first part of this three-part hello.html.ep. Nameless roots get an automatically generated one assigned that is simply equal to the root itself without non-word characters. What? Nameless roots get an automatically generated one, an automatically generated what? Template, which is simply equal to the root itself without non-word characters. Okay. Oh, okay. So it has nothing to do with what's following here. I have no idea what they're trying to say with this sentence. Nameless roots. So what does that mean? Just like get an automatically generated one, what, template assigned. So maybe our assigned and automatically generated template. That is, now the tell word here is, they say simple or simply, whatever it is, it's not simply, equal to the root itself without non-word characters. So no idea what that could possibly mean. Just haven't a clue what they're trying to say here. Wow. I mean, it's not English, right? It looks like English, but it's not English, right? When you say a generated one, that should reference something that came in the past, but we don't know what it is. That is simply equal to. Do they mean the same as, the same value, equal to the root itself without non-word characters? Again, I don't know. I just don't know. Bothers me. Nameless roots. Okay. The same sentence. Like, there's no other, and this is part of the problem with Mojolicious. There's only one version of the documentation, which means that. Okay, let's try this. Here we go. This is from the Mojolicious blog. Okay. Control F, nameless. And the word nameless does not appear on this page. Okay, if a root doesn't explicitly render something, it, that is Mojolicious, will check to see if a template exists for the name of the root. That makes sense. It, checking to see if a template exists, is a shortcut that some people like and could have made the rooting definitions like this. No, could have been made by the rooting definitions like this. You have a PhD in physics, but you can't write in English. See, get toy name, meat name. There's stuff happening here. Okay, well, we'll come back. If this comes up again, we'll just flag this as something weird. Okay. Templates can have layouts too. You just see again. You simply select one, you just select one. With the helper layout in Mojolicious plugin default helpers. See again, we don't need to know where this is necessarily. And place the result of the current template with the helper content in Mojolicious. not English. Okay. Let's see what's happening here. The examples are a lot clearer than the text. So, okay. Okay, Control S. Okay, get with layout. So let's reload. Let's just load it plain without anything for now. Page not found. Okay. But what if I do with layout? Now I get hello world. Okay. So the main effect of this is to break my default page. But okay. But you'll notice now I think we're getting, yeah, okay, it says green. Layout green, title green. You see? And if we actually looked at it, we'd see via the page source. See title green, body hello world. Right. So okay, with layout. Okay, this is the template. Title green, layout green. Okay, so a layout is a template that can be used by a template, is what it appears to be. So this template is going to define a couple of variables using these, right? So the title will be layout and the layout. Okay, the title, the variable title will be green, and the name of the layout is green. Okay, so if I did this, for example, if I did, let's go into my code, get with layout, I did this with layout 2, right, and then Control C, so with layout 2, title blue. So now the title of my page will be blue, although I'll still be using this layout green.html. That's what will happen. And that's what we'll see. So let's try it. With layout 2. Still says hello world. Title is blue. But we're using layout number green. Very good. Good work, Stephen. Thank you. All right. So, in other words, layouts stack, or layouts are cascading. So, templates can have layouts too. See, I don't know why you need different terms, but okay. Blocks. Now I use blocks tons in Grasshopper. So these are going to work differently, obviously. But I think they're going to have the same kind of intention. So get with block, block. Okay. So let's think about, okay, so with block, that'll be the URL. And when I'm getting with block, I'm going to be looking for block.html.ep. Okay. So this is interesting. So what's happening here is the percentage sign actually allows me to put in some code. Like and this looks like plain Perl code but without semicolons, although I see one here. My URL name equals the input. So Okay. So there's more we're not using this, I don't think. Maybe we are. Oh, okay. Try link to URL. Oh, let's see what we get here. Yeah, it'd be nice if they said more, right? Like they try to say it all in, and they're always be. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. So template blocks can be used like normal Perl functions. Okay, and are always delimited by the begin and end keyword. So this $link means all of this. So okay, so I have so this is a function. All right, and now when I'm rendering the page, this is very PHP-ish, right? Now I'm rendering the page, but I'm calling this function and I'm giving it two values, the URL and the name. And I do this twice. Kind of awkward, but that's fine. So what'll happen is I'll get with this, I'll just copy this and we'll put it into here. So we'll get a page with two links, one to Mojolicious, one to mojo.js. And I think, oh, and it'll say Sebastian's frameworks. Let's put a, like, let's try to be literate. Okay. Let's see now. Let's reload. Nothing but with blocks, I think it was. Right. Try Mojolicious, try mojo.js. So, mojo.js. Did everything just take purple for a second? No, it did not. Go back. Mojo.js. Weird. Okay. So, yeah, did everything just take purple, taste purple for us? All right, whatever. Okay. So that's kind of an odd way of doing it, but if we think of it, okay, so this is our function, and the function is in the block. So inside my block.html.ep, I can define a function and then use it in the layout of my page. Presumably, later on, we're going to see where I could define the function and then use it in multiple pages, or in multiple templates. But I'm getting ahead of myself. All right. So, and we call that function a block or a template block. All right. Helpers are little functions you can create with the keyword helper in Mojolicious Lite and reuse throughout your whole application from actions to templates. Okay. So a helper. Okay, so it's sort of almost like a way to have a global variable. Well, let's just copy the whole code here. Okay, Control C. So these are pretty important fundamental concepts, and I do think he's kind of skipping over them, but it's official documentation. It's intended to be kind of figure-outable and not necessarily a tutorial. Okay. Although the name of this document is literally tutorial. Okay, so what do I think I'm going to get here? Helper, who is sub C? Okay, my agent and my IP, return agent. Okay, so that's a string that we're returning. So get secret. Okay, so when we reload again, so just secret. We know who you are, agent, and all of this is the agent, and this is the IP. And it knows I'm calling from home because there's no place like 172.17.0.1. Hey, that is different. 1701. Oh. This is the URL. This is internal to the container, I think. That's interesting. We'll have to note that and log it. Okay. Because it should be for home is 127.0.0.1. And this is different from that. Okay. Plugins. Okay, this is super useful because there's a ton of Mojolicious plugins. I wonder why they just didn't call it Mojo or Perl. Nobody can spell Mojolicious. All right. Use Mojolicious Lite plugin. Okay. Plugins are applications extensions that help with code sharing and organization. Yes. You can load a plugin with the keyword plugin in Mojolicious Lite. Yes. Which can omit the Mojolicious plugin part of the name, right, and optionally provide. Okay. Again, badly written, but the using the keyword plugin. The keyword can omits this, and then while using the keyword, you can optionally provide configuration. So here we have, here's the keyword config, right? Its full name is Mojolicious : plugin : config, but we just call it config. And while we're calling it, we'll configure it. Here's the file, which I guess is, well, it's a configuration file of some sort. And then default doesn't really matter. And now and then get foo. See, I'm trying to figure out, or default if no configuration. Oh, yeah. Okay. So get foo. So the plugin's actually going to define. Okay, get foo means we're going to run this subroutine or this function. My foo equals app config foo. Notice it's capital and lowercase. I guess that doesn't matter. And then see render JSON foo, so it should return me a nice little bit of JSON here. Which means we'll probably have to run it from the command line, but they skipped telling us that part. And there's no reason, there's no reason why we're returning JSON here. Maybe we're not returning JSON. Maybe I'm jumping the gun. I don't know. All right, Control S. You notice that Stephen follows instructions is very much in a stream of consciousness format. I'm constantly criticizing, constantly questioning. It's not like I hate the authors. It's just this is my thought process. This is what's going through my head. Okay, so foo and nothing. It simply didn't load. Right, because it's rendering JSON. That's why I get nothing back. It's rendering JSON. What I need to do is go to the command line and just go C, copy that, paste it, and I'll just put foo. Doesn't matter what I put in there as contents or the put or anything. I should just get back a JSON message with my response. And I did not. Right, because no, I put Perl. Maybe I'm not calling the right. No, get foo. I should be getting something back. Again, nothing. Tis odd. Let's maybe try it from here. Perl. Let's do that first. It's not copying. Okay, let's copy this. Terminal should be running no problem, so nope. There we go. Okay. So illegal character in prototype. Question mark $C at. Good. Sub $C. Well, this doesn't seem to work. Mojolicious plugin config is a built-in plugin that can populate stuff. Okay. etc my@conf. So I know I don't have that file there anywhere, do I? No. And it's not going to be in here. Let's try to. There we go. Where am I? There. Let's go to etc list. And no, it does not have myapp.conf as I thought. User source app script. Okay. Let's try just running this without anything. Yeah, see, we're not generating anything. It's just borked. Broken. It is broken. It's hung. So there's something wrong with this example, it appears. Just copy. I'm just going to copy it and paste it again. That's exactly the same as it was. No, nothing comes back from it. Nothing comes back from it from the command line. And tossing this variable in here. Well, it shouldn't be an issue, though. I don't know. See, here we had no real issue with the $C. Let's try returning something instead of this render command. See, because that's kind of what they did here. Return some stuff. Let's try that and see what we get. Still nothing. And we definitely broke it. All right, let's go all the way back to the previous. Let's try to get our script working again. Okay. This worked before. So let's put it back in. Save it. And then, oh, page not found. Get template not found, EP not found. Okay. Module debug, your secret passphrase needs to be changed. What? Wow. All right. Okay. Secret. There we go. That worked. Now, let's just try to take the business end of this plugin. And put that in. Okay. So, and I'll just move this plugin down with the other. Okay. So, this should still work unless I explicitly try to do something. But let's try this. All right, so I'll try to run secret again. Runs fine. Let's try to run foo. Ah, and here's our JSON. So what was the problem with that previous example? What was missing? App start is there. plugins, get foo, who is. Okay, the difference maybe is that this used signatures and the other one did not. That could be. Does seem to be suspicious. So it might be that this example only works with signatures. Let's put secret in again. Yeah, it's going to fail. Okay, so for this to work, I had to have signatures. See? We'll try it again. See? Worked right away as soon as I put that in. So here in this example, this needs to have, or not here, in plugins, this line needs to have signatures enabled for it to work. So let's just record that. In the Mojolicious documentation, in the Mojolicious tutorial, we'll try to speak correctly. And again, we'll just put the link there so people know what I'm referring to. In the section plugins, the example needs to have the header changed, or the use command change. Go. Without signatures, the app just hangs. And I'll put that in. Nice career. So maybe this is something that only applies when you're running it in a Docker container. I don't know. I don't know what the signatures in the command line or in the use does. Let's see if I can find out. Have to put it in quotes because otherwise Google thinks I mean anything but signatures. Okay. Fsig. You can also use the signatures flag with all 4 forums and enable support for subroutine signatures. Okay. And what are subroutine signatures? Perl has a facility to allow subroutines formal parameters to be declared by special syntax separate from procedural code or subroutine body. This formal parameter list is known as a signature. All right. The signature is part of the subroutine's body. See, normally when we send values, we send it like this. But the signature does something different, maybe. When using a signature, the signature is a parenthesized list that goes immediately before the block after any names or attributes. In other words, here, the signature declares lexical variables that are in scope for the block. When the subroutine is called, the signature takes control first. It populates the signature variables from the list of arguments that were passed. If the argument list doesn't meet the requirements of the signature, then it will throw an exception, of course. So I'm going to get some stuff here. Okay, so that's interesting. How does it come up here? Well, clearly we look here. This is our signature. And so if we're not using signatures, we can't pass anything to it and nothing happens. If I had maybe just a blank, let's try like get, and we'll just put we'll just do this. Alright, and then return no input. Okay, so let's suppose we did that. Okay, so now what that should do is, if I just do this, it should just return no input. And it didn't. No. About this. Alright, well there was a way to do it. Let's go back all the way to the top to the Hello World example. See, render text, Hello World. Let's do that. Alright. There we go. See, render text. Alright. Now it should, yeah, there it did. Okay. And now, foobar. What if I take signatures out? Let's see what happens. No, it still breaks. So I would have to catch the exception. Okay. All right. Don't know why return hello world didn't work. Because it clearly worked up here. Who is? Oh, okay, I see. See, app log debug request from user. wonder if I have app log debug. I don't believe I have a log. Or if I do, I don't know where it is. Nope. Templates. Yeah. Okay, well, I won't worry about that for now. But yeah, it's the sort of thing. It's the sort of thing that'll get you. All right, what are we doing on time? 3:13. So maybe 15, 20 minutes to go here. All right, let's keep going. I am having fun, so let's come back to plugins. So the plugin eventually did work. This was a built-in plugin. A list of built-in plugins can be found here. Open link in new tab. There's config. Perl-ish configuration files. Helper, EPL, renderer, header, condition, JSON, mount, not YAML, config, tag helpers. Okay, is that it? I would have thought there were more. I guess just as examples, JSON config, not yet another markup language config, tag helpers, it's loaded automatically. I guess all of these are loaded automatically, except for this JSON one. Yeah, okay, so Perl-ish configuration files or JSON configuration files, or you could mount an application. All right. So none of these plugins are particularly interesting at the moment, but you know, with a whole bunch of other plugins available, they will become interesting later on. Okay, placeholders. Okay, root placeholders allow capturing parts of a request path until a slash or dot separator occurs, similar to the regular expression that. Okay, now I happen to know what that means, so we're good. So and basically we're capturing everything that is not one of these or one of these, and this could happen more than once. So in other words, we're not just capturing, so the plus means we'll just keep checking characters until we hit one of these. So for example, if I do foo/test or foo/test123, so get foo/:bar or dot bar matched bar. Okay, let's put this in. Whoops. Okay. Let's capture this and then we'll look at what it does. Okay. All right. Control C. So we have foo test and foo test123. So let's try those first. So foo test, page not found. All right, I needed the slash foo test or bar holder matched test and foo test123. It matched test123. So this is a way of passing a value to the root. So the root, or command, if you will, is foo, and test123 is the value. So, for example, if you gave it page, you could say which page or whatever. Conversely, test something and test 1, 2, 3 something. Let's try that. So test something slash foo. Our bar holder, our bar placeholder matched. Test 1, 2, 3 something. Yeah, well, that's interesting. Why? Oh, get and then the placeholder something. I get it. Okay, that's kind of an odd use case, but so this thing here indicates the placeholder. My bar equals C stash bar. Remember we did stash up above and wondered what it was for. See, there it is, stash and templates. So get foo and then this stash one, etc. So now it's sort of like we're stashing whatever came after the foo, or really whatever is picked up by the regular expression, to be more accurate about it, right? Because this basically is, well, it's not really a regular expression, but it's a way of whatever is in between these brackets. Maybe we can define whatever's in between these brackets as a regular expression, or maybe just that as a regular expression. I don't know if wildcards can be used there or not. But yeah. And then this is constant and this is constant. And I'll bet you that works. So foo there 1, 2, 3 matched 1, 2, 3 perfect. So I could, and now let's try two of these things. Foo bear and we'll stash it, right? There. So we got beer bar. So let's make sure I got this right. So let's say this. And so suppose I did this. Edit, post 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's got to be foo, right? Foo, edit 1, 2, 3. We got edit 1, 2, 3. Perfect. All right. And then based on that, right, I could do whatever. I return an editing screen of the right sort or something like that. So, yeah. All right. Good. Good. Actually, I wouldn't return an editing screen. I would return some JSON, which would be interpreted by my client-side JavaScript application as an editing screen with that data. At least that's how I would do it, right? I don't know for sure if that's how the world would do it, but that's how I would do it. All right, lovely. Moving along. So let's come back now to placeholders, relaxed placeholders. Okay. Yeah, okay. So it's the same as placeholders, but without all the syntax. So get hello, and then I'll just use this hash mark, and then hash mark is available as a variable inside this thing. So you notice we're not using, so this is kind of like, yeah, hello you groovy. Okay. Oh, that's wild. So get, and we pass the variable straight to a template in here, and this is the templating. Not really a fan of that syntax, but I get why it's needed. Wildcard placeholders. I knew those were coming. Okay. Hello test 1 2 3, test.123. Yeah, hello you groovy. Okay, let's see what we get here. So basically this set of things that we're going through is, it started the most formal way, now it's just getting looser and looser and looser, but easier to write. Control S. So let's try hello test. Hello test. Your name is test. Right, so it just picks up the, your name is 1 2 3. Okay, and what was the other one? Hello test 1 2 3, or test dot 1 2 3. Let's try this one. There we go. Oops, too many slashes. Your name is, right, we get the whole thing here. Okay. So that's worth knowing, right? It's just snatches and grabs the whole thing. Doesn't matter what punctuation's in it. Whereas in the previous versions, the punctuation did matter because we're very explicitly declaring this, and then I can put more stuff in after. I wonder if I did hello you. That's groovy. I wonder if it is sensitive to, like, suppose I did this. And I'll just put that in here after. See if we get anything for that. So what I'm testing here is, does it pick up on that? So let's try. So we're going to do the same address. Yes, it did. Excuse me. So what did it pick up here? So it picked up this. And it called that the first variable, the name in other words. And then it split it, whoops. It split it off here. So that's interesting. All right, moving on. HTTP methods. right. So HTTP has different methods: get, put, etc. These are ways in which we send requests to servers. And we've been using get all along, with some exceptions, but pretty much been using get. But we could also use put or any, maybe post. I don't know if post would work. I guess we'd have to use any or maybe just post. Get, put. I don't know if the HTTP method post is supported. But okay, the main thing here is when you send like a put or a post, you're also sending, in addition to whatever was in the URL, some data, a request of some sort. So put, for example, so the length, so here we have the request body. So C request body is whatever we put. Okay. So we're not really going to be able to test that because we'd need to have a form or something that actually, when we use a browser, we're only ever using get commands unless we're submitting a form or something. So we can't really test this, but we know that it supports these methods, and the request is in C request. So C, basically that's the query and the request, and then that's the body. So we've uploaded something, and post the request, and then it'll probably be a hash of the values. I'm not sure. We'll find out later on. Okay. Optional placeholders. All placeholders require a value. Okay. But by assigning them default values, you can make capturing optional. Yes. Oh. Okay. So here, get hello, and then whatever values in name, right, which shows up down here. And we don't have day defined, but we do have it defined as a default. So the default shows up here too. And if I didn't actually put in the name, it would give me the default name. So let's look at that. So I'm pretty sure the way it'll work is if I specify a name, it'll return the name. If I don't specify a name, it'll return the default. Oops, gotta actually put the code in first. Okay. Groovy. All right. So, hello. Yeah. So that's the default. And then if I put John in there, my name is John, and it is Monday. There's no way to put Tuesday in there because I don't have it. But I could, if I did this, colon, date, or day. Oops. Right. So now, I'll just reload this. No problem. But let's make it Tuesday. There we go. Lovely. Okay. Default values that don't belong to a placeholder simply get merged into the stash all the time. Okay. Again, simply. Don't say simply. Anytime you say simply, something weird is going on. Restrictive placeholders. Okay, this is going to be for restricted text. So it's going to allow only certain values. There's a phrase I was looking for, but I couldn't find it in my head. So the parameter, no, this something list in namespace might be it. I'm not sure. Okay, so what was the test and 1, 2, 3 are the permitted values. So let's come here. Oops, let's come here. So test, right? And 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Can't get it. So that limits what can come in as a value. So something like that, you know, I could use that, say, if I did something like this, right? Edit, and then foo, and then I generate this on the fly as the list of pages that exist. And so the only page that I could edit would be one that existed. And then if there was none that existed, I wouldn't be able to edit it. I'd get a page not found. So see, edit matches 1, 2, 3, but 1, 2, 3, 3, page not found. Lovely. All right. And all placeholders get compiled to a regular expression internally. I knew it was more than just simply. This process can also be customized. Just make sure not to use the hat and $sign. These normally indicate the beginning of a string and the end of a string in a regular expression. And capturing groups, I never use those. And non-capturing groups. Oh, okay. Just make sure not to use these three. But this one and everything else is fine. Okay. That should not be a period, that should not be a comma, that should be a period, this should be a new sentence to indicate we're not just continuing this list. Okay, so here, for example, again, using the same syntax, notice it's the square bracket, which indicates a list. So here, bar has to match this regular expression. QR. That's kind of weird. There's got to be a digit, basically, one or more digits. I don't know what the QR is for. Maybe that's, I think that might be specific to, that's got to be specific to Mojolicious, because normally I would just like toss in the slashes. Let's just check that. Regular expression Perl QR. QR string. Regex. Regular expression like quote. Oh, right. Okay. So, right. It's like if you have QW, and then you can have like a series of words, and it just treats those as separate. QR is a regular expression like string. Okay, I get it. All the stuff that's not explained. So that's what the QR is for. So we're quoting a regular expression here, which actually means this slash is entirely optional. I could use a pipe, I could use brackets, I could use whatever I want, pretty much. But it's most common to use the slash for regular expressions. Although, if you look in my code, you'll find I use a pipe much more frequently than I use a slash. QQ, for example, quote. When I'm outputting text, I'll use QQ pipe and then my text a lot. Okay. So, and then what we're not doing here is catching the errors. But what this does is it will only allow me to submit a digit and nothing else. And we can test that very simply. We'll just put it in. Okay, and then we'll run it. Right. Alright. It won't allow this. No. If I take out that W that I put in by accident, it should. And in fact, I could probably go on as long as I wanted. Yeah. There's probably an upper limit, but don't know what it is. And I'm not curious enough to try and find out. Okay. How are we doing here? Under authentication and code shared between multiple routes can be realized easily. Don't say that. With routes. And what do you mean can be realized? What you mean is you can share authentication and code between multiple routes using under. All the following routes are evaluated only if the callback returns a true value. Again, not an English writer. Okay. Use Mojolicious light signatures. Okay. Authenticate based on name parameter. Alright, let's have some fun here. Let's try this. And we'll see what happens. Okay, we'll put this in here. Oh crap. Ended up I hit Control C instead of Control V and ended up copying the text I was trying to replace. Okay. Control C. Gee, took longer than I would have liked. Now, what are we going to try to test here? C param name, return 1 if name equals Bender. Alright. So, what we're going to get, first will be denied. You are not Bender, permission is denied. But I can submit a parameter. Now, you'll notice in the instructions here, I shouldn't say that. Yeah, they haven't told me how this is going to work. So I have to just know that to submit the parameter, the way I'm going to do that is name equals Bender. Hi Bender. So I'm going to add that. Okay. 3 in the Mojolicious tutorial. In the section under test with, there we go. That's how you generate values for, what was it? It was cparam name. Font type. Okay, there we go. Publish, update. Maybe I'll add this to my dictionary. There. And that way it'll help if I misspell it. I'll be able to spot it. Okay. And I'll just put this here as this kind of script. There we go. All right. Update. These aren't major notes. This is pretty minor stuff compared to some of the garbage that I found in other instructions. So, okay. So, under sub. Okay. Why do we need the under? Oh, I see. Okay. It's whatever is shared by multiple roots. Under. Return 1 if name spender. Right, so we're just, okay, so under, if we return 1, well, I guess we just continue. And return undef, we don't continue. What do you see? Doesn't say that explicitly. Oh, here we go. It does say it explicitly. All following routes are evaluated only if the callback returns a true value. Sorry, I had to correct the grammar there again, but so yeah. So if the callback under does not return a true value, in other words, undef, then everything stops at that point. So could also put here exit, but I guess that's not how you leave this gracefully. But basically, if we're returning undef, we're stopping here. Returning 1, we keep going, and whatever happens. And here what we've done is we've actually picked up the parameter name, right? And so the name will actually be available later on. We haven't used it, but it would be. And I could probably put it in there. Okay, here we go. Prefixing multiple roots is another good use for it. Under foo. Okay, I see. So this is actually an entirely different use case. So if I just say under foo, it is going to return a value, not undef, and then everything else is under this. Right. So this will get me foobar. This will get me foobaz. It just means I don't need to write foobar, foobaz. And then I reset it under, and then whatever, and then under bar, doesn't really matter. MSG works. Oh yeah, okay. So, oh yeah, so that's kind of neat. So you use under foo, and you're basically capturing the commands for foo. Otherwise, if it's not foo, it'll be, now you're capturing the message, or no, now you're defining a message. It's a default value. We saw that up somewhere. You can also group related roots with group in Mojolicious, which allows nesting of roots generated with under. Okay. Under return 1 if, oh, that's wild. Return 1 if there's a header value here in this case. And if you don't have that, it'll say you're not Bender. So pretty much no matter what I do with this one, because I can't really mess around with my headers, it's going to say you're not Bender. I suppose I could somehow test it with, all right. And then the admin section, blah, blah, blah. Under admin. And then return, see, here we go again with the headers, right? You're not awesome enough. Get admin dashboard, right. Get welcome. So here, if you're Bender, great. If you're Bender and also awesome, you get the admin dashboard. Otherwise, you just get hello message. But otherwise, this is all in the headers. So I can't test it. Okay, formats can automatically be detected from file extensions like .html. All right. They're used to find the right template and generate the correct content type header. Use a restrictive placeholder to declare the possible values. Okay. Oh, okay. I see what we're up to here. So, yeah. So let's suppose I have a website, and I have both an HTML version of the same text. Am I gonna have to? Yeah, I'm gonna have to use the same word here. So now, if I just say detection, I'm not gonna get anything. But if I type detection.html, I'll get my nice HTML. But if it's TXT, it's going to detect text, and it'll return it in text, which is the main thing. I could probably do XML and JSON and whatever. Am I doing JSON in a template? I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe I can. Again, we'll find out. Content negotiation. Oh, we've not done this yet. And just like with placeholders, you can use a default value to make the format optional. All right, get hello. Here's the limited vocabulary. Format equals either JSON or text. Yes, you can do it with JSON. Although it's interesting, this little example, okay. Right, run your JSON. Right, so this is how we'd have to do it. Yeah. These are two separate points here, because here we're not doing the auto detection, are we? Oh yeah, we are. We're doing the auto detection. So format. Render template detected. Formats can automatically be detected from file extensions. Okay. So I don't, strictly speaking, I don't have to have any of that. But it's a better idea to do it in case I don't have the different formats defined down there. Content negotiation. For resources with different representations and that require truly RESTful content negotiation, you can also use respond to. Right. So here we're responding. Oh, yeah. That's kind of neat, right? Because so there's different ways of specifying the format. I could just use .json or .xml. Or I could put this in as a query parameter with the underscore in the front. Or, and this is an HTTP header thing, except equals application JSON or application XML. And so if I don't get, so now I can respond to these differently. JSON equals hello world. They've also given me, without telling me, a nifty little way of writing JSON in there too, I think. Let's try this out. Okay, let's save. So let's go hello.json. Oops. Yeah. Well, that's very nice. So this is, see what this is, right? JSON. This is very nice. I can do and whatever JSON I want there, I think, probably. Yeah. So I don't have to use, like they were using before, the fairly programmatic way and very non-template way, at least it seemed to me, of writing JSON. Let's see if I can find an example up ahead. Render, Control F, JSON. Rendered, see, here we go, render. See, this is how they were doing it before, but instead of doing this down here, I just got C respond to, and then I could just do that, JSON equals. MIME type mappings can be extended or changed easily with types. So RDF really means application RDF plus XML. Okay. Static files. Similar to templates, but only a single file extension and optional base 64 encoding. Static files can be inlined in the data section and they're served automatically. Yep. So we'll do that. Control S. So something.js and test.text. So I think just something and test should work here. So something. No, I actually have to put the JS on it. Alert hello. And test.text. Test 1, 2, 3, la la la. That didn't look like what I had. Oh, that's base 64 for test 1, 2, 3, la la la. That's funny. Let's see what that does. Nope. Okay. Base. I don't think there is any such thing as base 16 text. Yeah, well, it liked it. Oh no, it didn't. Okay. Yeah, alright. Okay, next. External templates. Right. External templates will be searched for by the renderer. It's not going to search in the by the renderer in a templates directory if it exists. Okay, so here these are a couple of commands. So we're going to make a directory. So let's go here. So let's see, pwd. Okay. There's the templates. See, now that's a really interesting question, right? This just assumes something. You can't just make your directory anywhere, right? So I'll make a directory. Let's make it here. Okay, so you see we've created the directory here. And now this is just a quick way of creating a file. And so it'll be, oh, template/foo. So I've actually created a subdirectory, template/foo. Now I'll write into it. Okay, you see here's the file. Hello world. All right. Now I should be able to access this template even though it's in an external file. So we'll come back to my script. I believe it's my app.pl that we're working with. And any external, okay, so external hello world, and you'll see, and again, because we're in dev mode, I can change this right away. And as soon as I save it, it's going to update on the page, and maybe not right away. Oh, why didn't that work? That should have worked. Oh, weird. Why didn't that work? I should be pulling from my template there. Any external render template foo/bar. Templates foo bar.html.ep, which is there. That's saved. That should have worked. I don't know why it didn't work. Okay, so let's just I'm gonna try, whoops, don't know what I created there. Just some temporary file. Echo hello cruel world. I'll bet you I didn't have permission to write. No, I should have. World to template foo/bar .html.ep. Okay, that didn't change. Oh, how wild is that? By all the logic that I know. That should have updated. Let's rename this. We'll call it foobar. And we'll come back to my app. We'll call it foobar. Now let's try. Right. Can I change foobar? Oh, and you notice, oh yeah, okay, let's change it. Let's try it. Templates must be cached in some way. The external template is cached in some way. It's gotta be, it's the only explanation.